Hey guys, welcome to Go, my favorite sports team. It's me, your master of balls and holes that just had 2 needles in his neck, Tyler Scheid, joined by my glorious chauffeur, Markiplier over here.
Yes, it's finally happening. You all wanted it. You all needed it. Isn't it great? We're driving.
Yeah, it's the chauffeur episode. This will be the most fun chauffeuring episode you ever imagined. Is that fulfilling the bet that you lost?
I don't even remember what it was. And not that it matters anyway. It doesn't have anything to do with sports. So anyone that was actually clamoring for it just doesn't know what they want.
I think this was the fantasy sports one. I don't even remember what the bet was about for this one.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Your brain working?
What? Oh yeah, I have a brain.
So this is going to be it's going to be the perfect listening experience because anyone that listens to this podcast in the car now has double the car.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Car squared. Do you have a square car?
It's not squared. It's just times 2.
But it's car on top of car.
Double.
Oh. Well, why isn't it carception?
What's 1 squared?
1. Are we doing math?
We just did math.
Is there any news? Sporting news? The NFL's kicking off. College football started.
Yeah.
We already had an upset.
We did.
Yeah. Georgia Tech beat Florida State. Florida State was a ranked team. Georgia Tech was not, and they beat them.
What sport are we talking about?
That's the American football.
Oh.
I don't know what else. What else is
we
going
can?
on.
Yeah, we don't have access because Tyler's on his phone, and I'm driving, so I can't look at my phone.
Baseball playoffs are coming up.
That's good. We just have to guess at what's happening. So I can only assume that Caitlin Clark just broke the record for most concessions stolen from fans.
Yo, do you know? I wonder what her favorite food concession in Indiana's stadium is.
Just specifically in Indiana Stadium?
Well, yeah, that's their home. The Indiana Fever is her team, so that's the home stadium. I bet you she likes, what's Iowa known for? Corn. I bet you she likes corn. Iowa's known for corn, right?
I have no idea.
Okay.
One can only assume.
But they're Hawkeyes. They're the most eyes of the Hawks.
All right, here's the thing, gang.
Yeah?
This isn't even going to be about sports today. We're just going to talk, and you're going to listen, and that's all we're going to do.
I mean, that works. That's isn't that kind of essentially what the podcast is?
No, about sports, don't you know?
Why do I feel like I've been here, but I've never been here?
This is the Grove.
Oh, I have been here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Grove. I mean, I never want to come down here because I hate driving all this way.
I didn't even realize that's how close I was where I had my procedure. Yeah, this is still from my bike rack, believe it or not.
No, that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to fix you for good, or what's the deal?
I have to get one in my lower back, too. Apparently, I have bulging discs, so they're injecting some...
Discs are huge. It's bulging.
Yeah,
discs.
they're bulgy. So they're injecting some steroids in there, and it's supposed to reduce the inflammation and make me not be as rigid. Did you know my physical therapist told me my back is too straight?
I don't believe that.
Yeah, he said, like, you have your normal curve of your spine. He was like, yours is, like, not as curved.
No. See, isn't that the thing where the curve in the spine actually isn't supposed to be like that? It's just like the anatomical models actually come from people that just have actually bad posture. And when you look at like indigenous peoples or anyone that in different cultures where they don't necessarily sit as much, their spines are extremely straight and their posture is impeccable.
So are you saying my PT's wrong and I'm good posture?
I think so, yeah. Because your spine should be straight, shouldn't it? And when you get older, if it curves more, that's a bad thing. When you got an old man that's so curved, his body's a question mark, you know?
Well,
isn't that bad?
Well, it's talking about like the sacrum curve and then the
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like everybody that wants to have a bigger butt that sticks out there, that ruins their spine to stick out their butt just a little bit more.
Are you saying that I have a flatter butt because my back's straight?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Nice. It's my back's fault.
Yeah. He's all back, no butt.
All back, no butt.
Mm-hmm.
Baby got back is about the butt, but now it's about the back.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you said. That's true.
I'm tired.
That's okay. You can nap. That could be the whole episode.
Just me napping?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like good content.
Well, it's not about the content, man.
We do this for the people. Listen, I got and recorded the day after my bike wreck. I recorded literally moments after my needle surgery now.
No, you're not listening. I'm saying it's literally not about content. That's not what the heart of all this is, and it shouldn't be anyway. The whole concept of content as like a medium to churn out is just something that's always irked me. This is just conversation. That's all it's ever been. Community, conversation, the ability to relate to one another. When you look at this as a vehicle of just like pumping out, we gotta get the content, it's like it makes a lot of it irrelevant.
Right. It's not focused on the humanity of it.
Exactly, yeah.
And the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is my hair funky?
No.
I think it's better. Yeah. Oh, did that make it worse?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's all good. Were you put under?
I was.
All the way under?
I don't remember anything, so yeah.
I see.
They didn't do the like tube thingy.
That's good.
Because they were sticking needles in my neck. It was just the IV, which they did on my wrist.
Was it just because you could twitch and then you would cause the needle to go in too deep?
You can do it without going under. So my thing is when I get like blood drawn, I have to watch them do it so I don't flinch. And they'd be doing it in my neck, and I can't twist my eye enough to be able to see the needles go into my neck. So I was like, can we just make sure that I don't flinch? Plus it's going into my spinal area. Yeah. And I'm like, I think it's safer if you just make sure I don't move by making me nap.
Well, how many operations does this bring you to now?
I mean, this would be number 13 if you include my Evo ICL stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of things.
Thankfully, I've been all right, except for my shoulder acting up. But
which shoulder? Your right or your left?
Left.
How's it hurt?
It's just like it feels like there's a muscle strand that's not relaxing no matter what I do, and that's always been a problem. I've hurt my left shoulder since I did parkour off the roof of DAP.
Oh yeah,
quote unquote parkour, and I landed basically directly on my shoulder.
So if it's quote unquote parkour, can we call it Markcore?
No. Either way, as a stupid college student, when I hurt my shoulder real bad, I was like, oh, there's no other option besides literally just dealing with it. So I didn't go to the doctor or anything, even though I had insurance from my dad's military insurance until I was like 25. So I had insurance, but I didn't even understand the concept of going to the hospital or something if you hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't even know about going to the campus clinic. I didn't even know that existed, and I didn't know what it was for. I was really dumb. Just like not knowledgeable about the world in any way.
I will say that's the benefit I had growing up with both my parents being pharmacists. It's like
you could rest it up here if you.
Will it stay? Sure.
There you go. Yeah, that's nice.
That's way better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So because and then I was in and out of hospitals ever since I was an infant, even before I could remember because my kidney stuff. So I was given all of that information and just kind of absorbed it over life that, I talked to the doctors about the drugs that they're giving me and stuff like that. There's a lot of benefit to the fact that I grew up in the medical system knowing how it works,
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like, I don't think about anything, or I didn't think about anything. It's just like, I was so unconcerned with anything that actually mattered in life that the whole maturing process kind of skipped me over. And I just didn't even get it. This is why I was such a non-human.
You're an alien.
I was very NPC-like when I was growing up, and I felt it because just like, I couldn't get a grasp on what any other part of life was besides video games. Mm-hmm. And then you go to school, and I don't even remember going to school or going to classes, stuff like that. But when I was dating my high school girlfriend, I didn't know how to function as a human and go on dates. I didn't know what you did when you go out. So we would get in the car. I told Bob and Wade about this. I would just drive. That's the whole joke we made about like.
Right, oh yeah, the day you want to go ride. You want to go drive.
And it's like I didn't even know what the concept was, and then that applied to everything in my life. I'm lucky that when I had my appendicitis, that I actually knew to go to the hospital. Like if I hadn't, it would have blown up and I'd be dead.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. Someone might have called the doctor.
Who knows? I mean, in all fairness, I still I have a concept of what is expected out of most dates, but it's like, I don't know. I'm a more adventurous person. Like I'd rather do dates that are like driving would be a fun date to me because you actually can talk and you go and see things And I feel like that's a cool thing, or like hiking and stuff like that.
Are we on a date right now?
I mean, we can be.
No, that'd be cheating.
Is it cheating if it's a friend date?
Yes.
That's cheating?
Yes.
Oh.
So this is purely platonic.
Well, a friend date is platonic.
No. It's erotic.
It's erotic friend date? You can have erotic friend date?
Absolutely you can. All you people who've had erotic friend dates, let us know the juicy details on the subreddit.
Yeah. Actually, I saw a Reddit post where people are mad at us right now.
Why are they mad at you?
Because they say I'm not looking at the stuff that I asked them for. And it's like, I have no right to ask for news because I'm not acknowledging the other stuff. And I'm like, I acknowledge it. It's just you don't recognize that I not acknowledge it. It's not like I'm going to say and acknowledge you live on the episode. But the episode ideas I do read through, and there are some really cool ones that I've read through and stuff like that. So it's like, it's extremely helpful. And they have led to episodes we have done. So the person was just like, they seemed a little... It wasn't that they were mad, they're just disappointed. And I'm like,
worst.
But I'm actually looking at the Reddit. I look at it all the time.
Well, then you just need to, like, what you should do is every time you see something, you should comment, but it's just the 2 eyes emoji. So it's like they know you looked at it. You need that thing where text where you said like seen at da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, yeah. What I think it is I think the people want the attention of us acknowledging them on the podcast live. You know, as we're recording, they want us to shout out their name from the heavens. Elegant listeners!
Well, I mean, that's not so bad. If you're taking their advice, you probably should.
Yeah. I mean, the some of the stuff was like older, so I haven't gotten to like some of the episode ideas with the stories and stuff. But with our new kind of format that we're trying to do, I think I'm going to start doing that a lot more in the sense of just kind of like scoping the Reddit and seeing what's cool there and what's interesting. And that's the biggest thing with the news right now is like we're going to be actively talking about news more often as we continue going, and it'll spur the conversation for the episodes in and of itself. You know, things change, stuff happens, and at the end of the day, I really appreciate everyone who listens, and especially those who listen and watch and then contribute to the Reddit or the Discord. Those are the things I love, is being able to engage with the people who enjoy the content we're putting out. It's honestly why I think both of us are really adamant about not putting anything behind a paywall, is we want everyone to be able to enjoy what we are
quality content that we're putting out.
This high quality, super professional content.
I looked for my little microphone kit. I couldn't find it.
I had the lavs at my place, but
you had them?
There are lavs. Yeah, there are lavs. Not phone lavs, but
okay.
Like the ones. Gosh darn it.
What were we talking about? Hey, did you see what Chapel Roan said?
Who?
Chapel Roan?
Who's that? Chapel Roan?
What? Chapel Roan? Yeah, you've heard Chapel Roan. She blew up very recently, but her music's pretty good. I like it.
I don't know that name.
I got you.
Did you know that the Kelsey brothers just signed a podcast deal with I don't think I know this.
I mean, you may not know this one, but anyway, that's Chapel. So, music aside, like whether you like it or not, it was interesting because Chapel Roan made a statement that was like, I'm not your friend. You don't know me. I really hate this like idea that people, just because they want to be a super fan, can dig into your life and feel like they deserve to be involved with it. Some people, I believe, probably took that a little bit differently than what she was talking about specifically, which was like people coming over to her house, like figuring out her family's information, stuff like that. And it was interesting because like the perspective of that side of things, especially when you're an artist and you blow up really quickly, and you have suddenly a lot of attention, you do experience this sudden shift, and it's something that I've experienced, you've experienced. And so, like, what are your thoughts on it?
You know, everybody seems to always want something from somebody. And that's in existence in life across all levels, whether it's like family or different things.
I don't think that's always true.
Well,
I think that's a pretty blanket statement to say.
I think there's a level that exists. But like when you put yourself out there and you become somebody aspires to, or is I don't know, enjoys and wants to get to know better, or sees a perspective, like some level of them. There's a level of they want a greater connection, or they feel like there's a greater connection that there is. And my thing is, I don't like the word deserve. I don't like the word that you owe me or anything like that. Because I think deserve, no matter in what context it's used, is a negative word, because it creates this idea that you're not getting what you want, which means, or you're not getting what you think you are owed or have earned. And it just makes you feel lesser than what you're receiving. And it creates this negative environment, as opposed to being like, you know, I didn't get that, move forward, focus on something else.
Do you think that when people reach a certain level of celebrity, that there is no other way than to have this side effect of super fans and people prying into your life and stuff like that?
And it does not seem possible
to escape it.
Yeah, to escape it. I think no matter what, it's going to happen. And I think ultimately, as a culture, I think people need to realize that they're also just another person, and to think about and flip the, like, you know, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, you wouldn't want a random person that you don't know and have never met come over to your house. You wouldn't want a random person coming and demanding you do something for them when you don't even know them. Right?
Yeah. Don't you think that there is some obligation to those people? Because at the end of the day, and even Chapel recognized this, you wouldn't have the success that you do without these people. And it's not so much like a deserved thing or an owed thing, but that relationship is still there, even if it's distant and you don't know the person. And I do agree on that level. And I'm not trying to like play devil's advocate, but I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit. Is whatever small increment it is, if you have to acknowledge the fact that other people are still people and they are contributing to your success, and even if they are of a large quantity of people, by reducing that relationship, you kind of reduce the value of that person to your success, right?
And my thing along that is, I think it's important, and not everybody does this, and I think this shows a level of character for different people. You can see people's characters come out when you're put in extreme conditions. You're able to see, you know, the true underlying person that they are.
Yeah.
And I think along those lines, I think it's important to be humble and thankful to the people that got you there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a level of owing them or that they deserve something from you, but you, at the same time, you have to understand that concept is like, we wouldn't be here making this podcast if it weren't for the people that support us. And that goes beyond just the people that listen and watch. That's our families. That's so many other things. And if you refuse to acknowledge the help that you've had along the way, or the people that have been there and supported you, at that point, it's like, well, now you're not thankful. It's not, whatever that is.
Ungrateful.
That's it.
Non-gratefulness.
Non-grateful. And at the same time, it's almost like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's actually been going around with a lot of different people and different areas of like how you treat people when they're like excited to meet you, right? Because there's this mentality that I always have, and it's not like I get approached a lot, but occasionally I'll get recognized. And my thing is, I don't care what mood I'm in. I have an opportunity to make somebody's day better. And if I'm an asshole, or if I'm upset about something and I'm not kind to them, that just can be so devastating to me. And so I would rather sacrifice a little bit of my time and a little bit of maybe I'm upset about something, I can take a moment and just show how thankful I am for them and give them the time of day in those moments. And I understand at a level of celebrity, you can get overwhelmed with that. But
now here's the kicker, though, because we come at it from a different perspective entirely as men.
Right. That's so true.
Women
too.
have a very, very, very different experience compared to men, just because the level of harassment can be, not that it's always harassment, the level of harassment can be to such a greater extreme than most men would experience. Yeah.
Well, and then it can also be on a different level because there's the awking and the objectification that often occurs with the female form.
What a terrible way.
Sorry.
What a horrendous way to put it. The awking that can occur with the female form. Yes, those females. The female humans are a mystery with their fourth dimensional curves. When they internally implode into their higher dimensional being, it can be hard to comprehend their emotions.
Body. I don't know what it's not. I'm talking about the objectification with relation to their body.
I think people
Physical
know what
assets.
objectification
Okay.
is. And when it comes to, I have a particular gripe about this situation. It's, I don't mind people come up and say hi to me. That's all good. Same philosophy. I don't want people reaching too far. I'm in agreement with all that. Restaurant workers of the world, stop buying me dessert. You are ruining any type of diet I've ever tried to get on, any healthy eating. You keep buying me free food. You keep buying me dessert. And it's very kind. It's a good gesture. I can afford it if I wanted it. Let me tip you big like I want to do, and you don't have to get me dessert. Every time nowadays, every single time I go to a restaurant, it's either dessert or lately I went to this steakhouse and it just so happened that the person who recognized me there was like a floor manager. I went there on a date with Amy just to get a nice steak. He brought every single appetizer on the menu. We couldn't even eat the steaks because we were so full. And it's like, it's very sweet. It's very kind. But stop getting me free food. It's such a niche problem. It's something that I can't really complain about too much, but I'm going to complain about it because I don't understand how it could possibly be every single restaurant I go to.
Well, it also makes me think about all this stuff because it's fascinating how much we give to people of stature, right? Whether it's like a famous person or celebrity or a million other different things, like a rich business person, we always give to the people that we want to keep around for business or other things. There's so many people that need it so much more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of like the dichotomy there is spilling into the other direction of feeling like, oh, I feel like a lot of you guys out there feel like you owe me something, which is not at all in any way the case. But I can see how that happens. Like the internet, and we're now in like I think we're approaching the fourth generation of like influencers on the internet. Am I going to make that? No, I'm going to make that. And it's like, the first generation was probably the OG YouTubers. I was probably second generation. And then third generation was like later people, as the TikTok era was getting off the ground. And then fourth generation is like what comes after that, after the first wave of, early TikTokers, late YouTubers.
It's also like the generation of the first OG YouTubers now have, I think some of them have kids old enough to be able to be their own influencers now.
Oh yeah. When you get self-influential, that's when things really go down the drain. But yeah, as we're approaching this era, we have a better understanding of this dynamic between influencers and things. And it just related to sports. It's something that athletes experience at the same time because there are also celebrities in their own way. See, it's about sports.
Especially Caitlin Clark.
And that's another example. That's another perfect example of what happens when you do get celebrity, because with attention, and anytime there's attention, people have to, it's human nature, form an opinion on that. They have to make a judgment. It can be even apathy is kind of like a thing. It's not up for my time. That's fine. Or like, oh, I appreciate what she's doing. Or, oh, I don't like that. It's one or the other. And it happens. And so with the celebrity kid, Clark's a good example because there's a lot of people that just hate her because she's really popular, despite her skills, despite anything like that.
I mean, and that's even happening, it seems like, in the WNBA. There's a level of envy that'll occur. There's a level of other things that'll occur.
Mm-hmm.
And so the treatment kind of changes. The way that they're, you know, I feel I never wanted to get to the point where I don't feel safe or comfortable to go to a grocery store and get my own food.
I don't think you're at risk.
I don't think so either. I don't think I'll ever get that close. But like, just the thought of the people that are so recognizable and so fawned over in that way that they can't go shopping on their own or don't feel like they can. That's wild to me.
It is wild. Yeah. You know, what's funny is like traditional Hollywood still doesn't understand that stars don't mean anything anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like celebrities in that sense don't mean anything anymore. Like it's completely moved. The entire landscape is completely moved. And yet there's still so many people that have like lagged behind in that just are still desperately being like, no, we understand this. It's not the same. Almost all the paparazzi photos nowadays are staged. They call up a paparazzi agency of like, I'm gonna be here at this time, and that's the majority of how it works now because they want it now. They need it because it validates things. You know?
Well, yeah, and then it's also big. That's what most parties do. They'll call and have photographers show up outside to catch them leaving, because then, you know, that gives notoriety to the event. That gives notoriety to the people that are attending the event. You know, a lot of different things.
Yeah, I haven't been in this area since we were taking improv classes.
A lot of places we haven't been in a long time.
Yeah, I just don't ever want to come out here. Drive out here. Why's your doctor got to be so far out here?
This was the procedure center, not the doctor. My doctor's office is actually closer to us.
Why is the procedure center all the way out here?
All because that's where they had the facilities. I don't know.
Interesting.
I had a good conversation with my nurse, though.
Oh, yeah?
She was talking about starting a business herself, and she's like, maybe I'll do a podcast. And then I was like, well, okay. And I was like, we have a sports podcast. And she's like, well, I'm not a sports person. I'm like, well, this podcast is for you. It's comedy first. And she's like, oh, but I don't care about sports. I'm like, we're not talking about like active sports news all the time.
Not all the time.
Please, please.
It is a lot of sports.
It is a lot.
It's almost all sports.
Oh, sports are life. Life is sports.
I don't know. There's other things in life besides sports, right?
You can make anything in life a sport as long as you get a governing body.
I don't know, those rules, we got to go over and revisit the rules because I'm pretty sure that the definition has gotten loose again.
Yeah, we got to tighten up our sport, what defines a sport and what should qualify something as a sport.
Yeah, if we're going to be the authority, then we got to make sure. I'm going to blast the air conditioner for a bit, so we're going to shout. It's hot in here.
It is hot in here, and the phone is getting hot. We don't want to corrupt our video footage for you guys.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so what's new in the sport world? Editors put in like a crowd screaming at the same time, so it seems like we're also at a huge crowd and in the sports stadium. Damn it.
Show the crowd knocked over. Damn it. There.
Technically that works, you know, you're not wrong, but it just feels wrong.
It just feels weird.
For those of you who don't know, he put my wallet leaned up against the phone, so it's covering the screen where we would see ourselves, but yeah, so yeah, you said something about the Joneses, the Jonas brothers getting a podcast.
What?
Kelsey.
Yeah, so the Kelsey brothers signed with an Amazon podcasting platform. I can't remember the name of it, but they got $100+ million deal for their podcast.
Whoa.
So they signed with the Amazon's company with podcasts. It's like a premium podcast platform, which I believe is paywall. So it's probably one of those subscription platforms and something like that. But for $100 million+ that they have signed.
Are there going to be enough people that actually want to hear them talk?
They've been the number one sports podcast for a long time.
Oh, they already have one. Oh.
Yeah, it's been a thing on.
Oh, they're our competition.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about them?
Well, I'm just talking about their deal that they signed.
What a bunch of assholes.
They're athletes. Jason Kelsey retired from the NFL, and Travis is still in the NFL. He's Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
I know.
Yeah.
But isn't this just going to be like the, who is it? The Prince, which Prince had like a podcast? And
Prince Ali, is that ever Steve?
Because again, you got to fight these connections in your brain. Like that doesn't connect at all.
What Prince?
There was a Prince. Anyway, all right.
Like it's Prince the musician?
No, literally a Prince. From the UK.
Oh, you're talking about Prince Harry?
One of them had a podcast.
Oh, I never heard of it. So.
Well, they only had like 6 episodes, and I think it was another like tens of millions of dollar deal.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the era of people paying money before the podcast even happens is gone. No, they've been established for a while. I've actually watched some of their stuff.
It's terrible. It's horrible. Nobody should ever check it out.
It's better than Pat McAfee.
I know, right?
He's apparently not allowed to talk about Caitlin Clark anymore after his incident.
He's not allowed?
I think ESPN told him, no, or something.
That's hilarious.
That's the speculation right now because he hasn't talked about it in a long time.
I mean, what's there to talk about? Not like there's news every week about it.
There's always...
About it.
Wow.
The entity that is Caitlin Clark. I'm not familiar with the female form.
She has superseded her female form to become greater than itself. Greater than the sum of its parts. That was a weird ass sentence. But so your shoulder's been bothering you ever since college, huh?
Yeah. But lately it's just like it's from editing.
You having issues with carpal tunnel from all the...
No, my wrists are fine. It's literally just my shoulder and my back. Like my wrists are so strong. Like after you play World of Warcraft for so long, you either like get extreme carpal tunnel or your wrists become strong enough to take on anything. So I think I got that. So I have extremely strong wrists. No problem, no pain, no issues here. But
it's from all that masturbation you did.
No, even that made me only stronger.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm incredibly strong from the masturbation.
And World of Warcraft.
Yes, well, I mean, same thing.
And the World of Warcraft masturbation.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I actually built a masturbation-based controller to be able to raid.
And you detached a shake weight for the raid.
On Ventrilo, which is what we use, you just hear... Move to the circle! All right, skull, X, square, go in that order.
When you make that sound, for whatever reason, it makes me think of the ice cream taster guy who just...
there's
vanilla.
Cover all 9,000 taste bud. Aerate it. Warm it up. Driving up that top note. That cream. Pure vanilla. Sweeteners. That's a 10.
There's a call out. Even on Alliance side, which is what I play, you call heroism lust. A lot of people did because bloodlust is what the buff is.
Yeah.
So it's like lust. Man, no one would get more angry when you're on a stupid 5-person dungeon and you like. I was a shaman, right? So I had heroism, but it should have still been bloodlust. But you had it, and if you didn't do it right away at the beginning of a boss, you'd get like one of the DPS would start typing frantically, lust, come on, what's wrong with you? And I just wouldn't do it at that point. I would just intentionally not do it because I was the only class that had it. So I was just like, of course I'm not going to do it. Or maybe it was still bloodlust as a shaman. Paladins got it and it was heroism. You guys don't care about this at all.
Some might.
No, okay. You will not care about this. I will not allow you to care.
That's a bold statement.
I sense one of you caring. Get him. Take the shot.
Did you see all the whale posts after you said whales aren't that big? Or whales are huge?
And there was a ton of people that were like, get him, get him,
get him,
get him. They are big, get him. Whales are big.
They are massive.
They just are.
Nice school bus.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of sucked to be a bus driver in LA.
Yeah. I mean, just the thought of like, dude, in Ohio, we grew up and there were not crazy fences around schools. No. Here in LA, I feel like schools and prisons are so similar looking. Like it's absurd, like the amount of like barbed wire fences and stuff. and I think it's to protect the kids, not to keep them from getting out. But it also kind of looks like both. Like,
I haven't seen too many barbed wire fences. I've seen some tall fences, but I haven't seen the barbed.
I've seen barbed wire. I've seen spiked fences. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
Barbed wire around a school?
Yeah. Yeah, there's I think it's an elementary school that's down by USC. And I was driving past and I'm like, and it literally was like, elementary school. And
Are you sure it wasn't a baby prison?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was a baby core facility, where they're really teaching them parkour, and those are the high stakes. They have to avoid the barbed wire fences.
That seems much less likely. Less likely. Less likely. Much less likely.
Yes.
Well, that sucks, but either way, I think I get it.
Actually, what's interesting? The day this episode, or not this episode, the episode before this airs on kickoff, NFL kickoff. The Hall of Fame game. Or not the Hall of Fame game. Hall of Fame game is the preseason. The first game of the season. Thursday night football.
It's a Hall of Fame game.
They play it in Canton, Ohio, at the Hall of Fame Stadium. So there's a football field outside the National Football Hall of Fame.
But who plays?
Two NFL teams.
Well, what decides that? That sounds like what happens at the Super Bowl, but much less known about.
There's just the first preseason game. It's an honorary first game. It's just the fact that it takes place in Canton, Ohio, which is another thing that Ohio has. Actually, I was just told that the younger generation uses Ohio as an insult now.
Yeah. So did we.
Yeah, that's true.
So did we all our life. It's not new. Like even growing up, everyone made fun of Ohio. I don't know why, but
the weather or
the weather's fine actually. See, that's a misleading thing. It's actually,
it's just humid.
Yeah, and the Tower of Doom is kind of annoying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's hard to deal with,
And the blood.
Well, I mean, that's a given. I mean, not everyone gets used to that. But anyway, yeah. Other than that, Ohio's great.
No, for sure.
Yeah, on paper, Ohio has tons of qualifications, but in practice, it's Ohio.
I will say, I feel like Cincinnati is such an outlier compared to the rest of Ohio. At least like all of the river valley of Ohio River Valley, because most of Ohio is actually flat as hell. But near Cincinnati and all along the Ohio River, there's some beautiful landscapes and everything. If you've ever driven from Cincinnati all the way to Athens, Ohio, which is Ohio University, which is also where Joe Burrow's father worked, where he was born, the thick boy himself. He was my first round fantasy pick when you made me have to start thick. I picked the thick boy Joe Burrow.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is he thick?
He's thick. He got booty. He got guns.
When you were saying thick, I didn't even think of butt. I was thinking just generally thick all over.
He bleached his hair, actually.
Wade kept saying he looks like Eminem, and I'm like, just because you bleach your hair, Eminem hasn't bleached his hair in years.
The only M&Ms I know are the yellow and red ones.
I quit. I quit the podcast. I quit.
If you could live anywhere in the world without anything being affected, like you could just transport your house to where do you think you'd go? Would you take it to Korea?
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
I have no idea, man. I can't even think about that kind of stuff because I can't think even a few weeks ahead. That's my biggest problem is I can't think into the future too far. I have to be so focused on what's happening now. And Amy's the opposite. She can only focus on what's in the future and is ignorant of things that are happening currently, which is why we work really well together. But at the same time, I am, for as much as I get done, I am horrible at planning. Yeah. I am the worst at planning. I can't get shit done. I can't get anything done that I want to get done. It just all goes bad all the time. Well, I'm always like scrambling. I'm like, I forgot I promised to do that. Oh shit.
But you're really good at like getting stuff done off the cuff, and like if it needs to get done right away, you can get it done.
I would like anything other though. I would prefer doing anything otherwise. If I had the little bit of planning skill, I'd be unstoppable. I would have taken over the world by now.
Yeah. I usually schedule like a month. And then
you schedule a month? How do you schedule a month ahead?
I don't know.
I make a schedule and then I forget that I made it.
I just do my Google Calendar and then I just check it during the week. And so it's like, oh yeah, I have this appointment, or I have this going on, or I need to get this done, and stuff like that.
I don't know, man. The planning skills is just like awful for me. This is the crazy thing also. It didn't used to be this bad. It's the fact that nowadays everyone won't leave me the fuck alone. Everyone's always bothering me. Not you. I'm talking like somehow my team has expanded to this degree, and somehow even if I say, like, oh, I can't do that, somehow it'll turn around and then, oh, that thing's happening. You got to do it. I'm like, why the fuck did that happen? No. And I'll say, no. I was like, oh, it's a big thing. I really get your problem, not mine. Anyway, that's a whole separate gripe. But scheduling is also very difficult because I do this too, where I will say yes to something and I'll be like, sorry, I have to not do that. That's, yeah, it won't happen. I just had to do that today. I had to text Spotify being like, yeah, that thing that we've been planning to do for 2 months now, can't do it. Push it 2 weeks. But the beautiful thing is, like, thankfully I've positioned my life in a way where I'm like, I'm not actually beholden to very much. So I can just be like, I want to focus on my thing because I have a hyperfixation right now and I'm going to ignore everything else. And people have sort of set up expectations for that. But it's not a good thing, always. It's nice sometimes for me, but it's also, it's not how I want to put myself out there. I want to be more responsible, more on top of things. I just can't help myself sometimes.
Do you worry about like straining relationships with people because of that?
It's already happened. Yeah, I mean, yes, but that's a baseline.
Right.
That's how I am. That's why, like, I have trouble socializing, not just because I'm an introvert, but also because I have incredibly poor follow through. I cannot bring myself to dedicate time to maintaining relationships. Barring a select few. And that's not a good thing to do, but I'm just so busy with what I'm trying to do. And it's like what I do is like very, very involved, and I choose to do a lot of it myself because I am a bit of a control freak, but also at the same time, you can't trust others to do something that only you can see in your mind.
Yeah. Trying to convey and communicate and get something accomplished that's your vision with somebody else doing it is such a difficult thing, which is why I've honestly had such a hard time with my YouTube channel, in the sense of like, I know I could edit it myself and I could get what I want out of it, but it would take me so much longer than somebody who's more capable. And I found somebody finally, and I work really closely with them, and they are doing such a fantastic job now. My biggest concern is always like, I tend to be a very straightforward person. And so it's like, oh, this needs fixed. And I just say that. And so sometimes people think I come across as an asshole because I'm just being extremely direct and I'm not adding any fluff to it.
Well, here's the thing. If you come across to them as an asshole, you were an asshole to them.
That's true.
Fair. That is true.
Yeah.
You can't be, oh, I'm not no, I said no asshole. I said no asshole before I said the thing. So I don't know. And as someone who is a very blunt emailer and texter sometimes, I also know that if it's received that way, because the whole fundamental basis of communication is to be understood, and they understood that I'm an asshole, then that's how I communicated as an asshole. So I always have to be aware of that. I want you to be aware of that too.
Yeah, it's something I've worked on, but it's still sometimes when I'm crunched for time, I slip back into just being, do this. Yeah.
So. And that's where things can go wrong. Not saying you do this, but that's where, like, when you have that vision and you are trying to recruit other people to execute upon that vision, if you don't take enough time to solidly come up with that in your mind and other people don't get it, it's not their fault. It's your fault for not communicating it well enough, or not following through, or not even understanding what you need. Because that's why I put it to myself so much to learn so many different skills, because I need to be able to communicate. Right. I need to understand not only how to convey this information, but how to understand if they're doing what I want correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can understand how to convey the process of it if there's something along the lines that is just more technical that you can understand.
Yeah. And yet there's some things that I'm like, no, I'm great at that thing. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it better than that way. There are a few things where I'm like that. Editing is one of them.
That's fair. For me, sometimes it's run of shows for charity events. I'm just like, just let me do it.
And does it go well when you're running it?
Yes. It definitely goes well when I'm running it.
I thought you weren't doing that anymore, though.
I still do it occasionally. I haven't done it for a bit, but I have new terms of it to where I can say no whenever I want.
You weren't able to do that before?
I didn't realize I was able to do that before.
See, one of the things I've learned that's gotten me into much trouble, but also much relief, is you can just say no, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
One way or another. All right. Well, we're at a good time mark anyway, so.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about, a wrap-up moment?
No.
Cool. Well, this has been your Chauffeur episode. So we have, Mark has performed one of the obligations. I still have to
Be my butler.
I have to be Mark's butler at some point. But hope you guys enjoyed this, I guess, more laid-back, relaxed kind of episode. Just having a conversation.
Sorry about the audio.
Yes, apologies to the editors and to you guys. Make sure and go to store.gmfst.com, buy some merch. Hopefully new items are up by now, but we'll figure that out ASAP. And use the Reddit. I do pay attention to it. I'll try and be better about acknowledging it. Reddit.com/r/gmfst. Thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.